Hi there, good afternoon. This is Liz Davis. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in digestive health for busy women. So I help busy women fix their IBS, bloating, heartburn, painful digestion, and all the other things that can go hand in hand with having compromised gut function. And I do this for state-of-the-art testing, dietary upgrades, etc., to really help to bring things back into balance nicely for you. So I was going to talk about SIBO today because it is an issue that crops up quite a lot and people are quite curious about it, having heard about it online or whatever. So I just do a quick rundown about what it is, what can give rise to it potentially, so you can figure out if you might be affected, and then how we go about sort of supporting it to heal and helping you to put those nasty symptoms behind you, because it can cause really quite nasty symptoms, debilitating and quite widespread as well. So what it stands for then, SIBO means small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and it is exactly what it says. It is an overgrowth of bacteria which we should find in the large intestine, and for whatever reason it has managed to set up home in the small intestine where it doesn't belong, and cause all sorts of painful symptoms like bloating, diarrhea, etc. And it can be really quite, unpleasant. So how it comes about is because, in an ideal world, your large intestine, your small intestine, they've got great defences in place. They protect themselves from invaders very well. One of the first places that it will try and do this is through stomach acid. Stomach acid is its kind of first layer of protection against invaders, if you like. And your stomach has to be very acidic in order to be able to do this properly. So if you take any kind of medications to lower that, so PPIs, antacids, etc., your stomach acid levels are not going to be optimal. So potentially this can give rise to bacteria setting up home in your upper kind of digestive tract, which is not what we want at all. So that can kind of set off a chain of events that are less than ideal, so to speak. Other medications can contribute to this as well. So, lots of antibiotics, contraceptive pill, etc. The natural course of aging can just cause your stomach acid levels to decrease. It's something that perhaps if you are getting a lot of gut problems and you are getting older, then it's worth supporting that area definitely, just to make sure that you keep your stomach acid levels optimal to stop any kind of problem like this arising. If you've had any kind of surgery, any sort of abdominal surgery, I found can give rise to this, but particularly stuff like any kind of bowel condition, abdominal surgery, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, etc. If you've had your gallbladder removed, because there again the bile is very antibiotic, it's another layer of defence in your gut. So if we haven't got optimal levels of bile flowing through the gut, periodically, then that's another cause of bacteria being able to set up home where we don't want it to. So what signs then? So if you're getting kind of your typical kind of IBS symptoms, so bloating, diarrhea, constipation, feeling tired, feeling drained, weight loss, etc., depression maybe, and then the associated hormone problems, and you're treating it as IBS, or you are kind of going along that road, but you still can't nail the symptoms, it could be a big indicator there that there is something kind of underlying, which could be SIBO. And SIBO tends to go hand in hand with other things, like I mentioned, low stomach acid or IBS or Crohn's colitis, etc. It can just be playing a role alongside all these other things and just kind of exacerbating the picture, really. So in order to know if you've got it or not, or if it is playing a part, a big telltale sign is going to be if you start taking prebiotics, probiotics, whatever, and you get worse bloating or worse symptoms, then what could be happening is that you're inadvertently feeding or adding to the bacteria in your small intestine, whereas what we want to do is cause the bacteria in your large intestine to flourish and be healthy. So that can be one of the big indicators that there's some SIBO. We expect a little bit of bloating after starting probiotics or prebiotics, but certainly nothing that's going to cause you undue distress like that. So that's a big kind of red flag that there could be SIBO going on. Also, if we test the gut, so if we do a standard stool test, that can tell us what the overall health of the gut is, and there are a few telltale markers in there that are going to tell us if we should be suspecting SIBO. There are a few kind of bacterial strains that indicate SIBO, so we'll be looking out for those. There's also a couple of breath tests that are an option as well that you can use, very straightforward, just to establish, if there's a likelihood of SIBO, and then also how far along the digestive tract it is. So once you've established you've got it, or you suspect you have it, what do you do then? Well, it can be quite hard to kind of support your gut to heal when we have SIBO going on. It's not it's absolutely possible to do it, but because the bacteria is in the wrong place, it will protect itself with a layer called a biofilm. So biofilms are like, where you get plaque on your teeth. That's an example of a biofilm. The bacteria is protecting itself from being broken down and killed, etc. So we need to break down that biofilm to start with, and then go in with antimicrobial medications, and then it's going to, or antibiotics or herbs or whatever, or both, can be quite effective usually. Then you would be looking at, depending on what's given rise to it, possibly supporting gut motility with motility herbs such as ginger, etc. Certainly low FODMAP diet at this stage would help you, because we want to take the pressure off the gut as much as possible while it heals, and try and get down, decrease any inflammation that might be happening. The normal gut repair supplements to kind of get things all nice and fixed. And then, of course, mindset is usually a good thing to be working on as well. So you don't want your stress levels to be high while you're we don't want them to be high at all in an ideal world, but you certainly don't want high stress levels when you're trying to nail an issue, a gut issue, especially like SIBO. So focusing a lot on mindset work and relaxation, etc., would be critical then as well. Okay, so I think that was all I was going to mention about SIBO. If you do suspect SIBO, or you're not, of course, you're not getting anywhere with treating your gut symptoms, then do hop on a call with me. I'll pop a link to my diary in the comments, so do book in there. We can have a quick half-an-hour chat to find out what you've got going on. There's also a couple of links to some more freebies and my online course. I'll pop that in the links as well. And if you found this useful, please do like and share, and get the word out to other people who may be helped by it as well. Okay, I shall see you next time. Bye.